Hunter Henry is not expecting any kind of a long-term extension from the Chargers. No. The tight end has signed his tender, $10.6 million franchise tender, and he's not expecting an extension. I don't think anything will get done, but we'll see, is what he said. But I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to get a chance to play this year, do my thing. I'm pretty locked in on what I got ahead of me in 2020, and that's what I'm locked in for, you know. I don't really want to look too far ahead. Now, Hunter Henry is actually a pretty solid tight end when healthy, but that's the problem, right? The problem is when he's healthy. Back in 2017, his rookie year, he did pretty good. He was targeted 53 times, 36 receptions, averaged 13.3 yards a reception. Not bad, 68% catch percentage, a little low, but 8 touchdowns. He was a big-time receiver, played 15 games his rookie season. Then in his sophomore season in 2017, things started looking up. He got a little bit more targets, had 62 targets, caught 45 of them, 580 yards, less touchdowns, but a much higher catch percentage at over 72%. But that 2017 year was cut short due to a kidney laceration, and he was only able to play 14 games. 2018, he was expected to have his breakout season. What happens? OTAs happens, and he tears his ACL, missing the entire 2018 season. Last year, he came out with a bang. His first 12 games of the season, he had 76 targets, 55 catches, 650 yards, 5 touchdowns, 72.5% catch percentage, and that's just in 12 games. But then knee injuries. Knee injuries derailed him. So, curious, what happened? He missed so many games in just his first 4 seasons. He missed 1 his rookie year, 2 his sophomore year, 16 his junior year, and then last year he missed 4. That's 23 games that he's missed in 4 years. So the question is, can he be trusted to be a full-time, reliable tight end, healthy? And that's what the 2020 season is listed for. This is a prove-it year for Hunter Henry. Now, he was last year one of Phillip Rivers' favorite targets while he was on the field. Phillip Rivers went to him over and over and over. And he was a very good receiver in that aspect. Like I said, 72% catch percentages. That's pretty darn high. But here's a big deal that you want to think about. He drops about 1 in 20 passes to him. That's not bad. That means last year he dropped 3 or 4 passes last season. 4, actually. 5.3 drop percentage. He dropped 4 out of 76 targets, which isn't terrible for a tight end. And he's catching the ball 9 yards before the ball travels in the air, 9 yards before he even catches the darn thing, which means he's able to get downfield somewhat as a tight end to catch the football. He's very much like a Jack Doyle, very good blocking tight end with very good hands. A little bit more athletic and much younger than Jack Doyle. But if he could stay healthy, then he could end up being a very good, reliable tight end. Because of the franchise tag, He is actually the highest paid tight end in the NFL this season. When it comes to how much he's making for the 2020 season, he's being paid the most, which is unreal. I can't believe that that's actually happening. He was a first-round pick, which is why it was such a high tender. However, they had to do something. They weren't going to give him an extension when he's missed 23 games in 4 seasons. So they just franchise tagged him and decided, you know what? We'll see. See if you can't be healthy and continue to play. Now, will his numbers drop? Will his numbers drop? Because he doesn't have Phillip Rivers throwing him the football anymore. He's going to have Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert. I mean, depending upon who wins this. Everyone's saying Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback one, but what if he stinks in preseason and in camp? What if he, just really doesn't do well the first couple weeks? He'll have Justin Herbert throwing the football. I think Herbert is more of a tight end friendly quarterback than Tyrod Taylor when it comes to delivering the football. It's obvious I'm not much of a fan of Tyrod, but then again, I don't think Herbert is that much better. I can't believe that they have Justin Herbert, the 6th overall pick of this past year's draft, and he's sitting behind Tyrod Taylor? Really? Something don't add up here. To me, that sounds like 2 mediocre quarterbacks on a team where you hire Tyrod Taylor and then spend a high draft pick on Justin Herbert and got rid of Phillip Rivers just because he had 20 interceptions last year. Why would you do that when you know for a fact that every time Phillip Rivers has had 18 to 20 interception season, the very next year is a Pro Bowl year? Absolutely. He balls out every year after he does that. Well, we're going to find out. Now, Austin Eckler will probably take some of those receptions away from Hunter Henry because that's just the way it's been happening. Now, then again, like I said, Phillip Rivers ain't there. Maybe Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert don't use the running back out of the backfield near as much. Austin Eckler, however, has shown that he can receive the football out of the backfield and make things happen. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, those are your only other 2 real receivers on here. And the offensive line is not pretty. They picked up Mike Pouncey, and that's about it. Sam Tebby, Dan Feeney, Trey Turner, Brian Bulaga. I'm not exactly overly ecstatic about this offensive line, and Hunter Henry is going to be needed to be held back to help pass block for Tyrod or Justin, whoever is at that quarterback position, which means if he's got to be held back to pass block, he's not going to be out on the field for receptions near as much. He might be able to block for a moment, and then when the quarterback doesn't get rid of the football, release his block, run out, turn around real quick for a quick curl, for a quick dump off safety blanket type reception to get his quarterback out of trouble. Hunter seems as though he's that type of tight end that would be able to recognize situations such as that and go with it. What I would like to show you is what Hunter Henry is like when he is in absolute good health and his quarterback trusts him. Let's go back to last year, week 17 against the Kansas City Chiefs, shall we? Week 17 against the Kansas City Chiefs. It was 3rd and long, and Phillip Rivers had to have a reception in order to keep the drive alive. He not only turned to Hunter Henry, but he turned to Hunter Henry, and there was like 4 defenders around him. Let's take a look at this play. Here, what we have, as you can see, The wide receiver's in motion. You got Hunter Henry sitting up here on top. He is actually the outside receiver. Rivers has a running back beside him in Austin Eckler. You're going to have 3 receivers here. He steps up, calls up some protection real quick. Look at how many people are around. Now, at this point, when Rivers throws the football, look where he's throwing. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 guys around Hunter Henry. 4 guys around him. This is a point where Henry has to show athleticism, reach up, and attack the football at its highest point. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Knowing all those guys were around him, he goes up, catches it, brings it down, knowing he's going to take punishment coming down after the reception. This is unbelievable. Look at that. Catches the football. He's got 2 safeties coming up hard on him. Cornerback, linebacker right up underneath. Actually, it looks like 2 linebackers right up underneath. He catches that in the midst of all this traffic. Gets hit. Lays out. Bam! Crushed. Able to hold on to the football. Comes down. What a reception by Hunter Henry. What a reception. Now, what brings that to, why I bring that up is why would anyone question Hunter Henry's abilities? You're still here? Awesome. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, please smash that like button and hit subscribe. That way, you're known when I come up with a new video here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I plan on going live starting this Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Conversations, man. You want to know what we're going to have that conversations for? Right down here where it says Twitter. Type that into your web browser. Give me a follow. Everything that I talk about, anything that I am getting ready to post, any kind of video that I'm getting ready to stream or upload, you'll find out when I type that right out there on Twitter, man. Don't forget sportscaster.com. That's my actual job. That's where I work, right? I am Sportscaster NFL News. Me, Joe Nubo, Ray Rout, we discuss all sorts of stuff NFL news related every day. So don't forget, I appreciate you watching me here, but you can get a lot more information in these little links here. Don't forget, check out the description below, because at the very bottom of that description is where you can support my channel and help ensure that my content continues to be uploaded and broadcasted to you so that you know exactly what's going on in the NFL. Now let's get back to the video. I just showed what he could actually do. Dave with the Dolphins, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate you being here. LA Laura 38, thanks for joining here on Sportscaster. Henry has great athleticism, great hands, and he can block. But it's plays like that. That is the reason why Hunter Henry has been getting hurt, at least on the field. As you've seen, he sacrifices his body. He puts his body out there to make sure he comes down with the ball. He needs quarterback. And there was no one else on that field right there that was open. He had to throw it. He needed the first down. He trusted Henry to come down with the football. Over Williams, right? Over Allen. That's got to say something. But when you put guys, especially a tight end, in a situation where he's getting leveled by 2 safeties and a linebacker at the point of the catch, expect him to get hurt. We want to see less of this. We want to see more open receptions where he's on the move and there ain't very many people around him at the time of the catch. His film is loaded with receptions over his career where he's able to find or get open on man-to-man and or in zone coverage. I think that Hunter Henry, if he can stay healthy, absolutely will garner a big contract next season. But will it be with the Chargers? That's the question. Because, quite frankly, like I said, I don't believe the Chargers, their defense is very good. Their defense is solid. Casey Hayward, Derwin James, Chris Harris Jr., Denzel Perryman, Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa. Come on. They've got Jerry Tillery. They've got guys there who can make plays and do things, and a defense that can help. But the problem is their offense, I really don't think is there. Not because, simple fact, I don't believe the offensive line or the quarterback position is good enough to keep them in contention with the improved Raiders. I don't think they're there for the improved Denver Broncos, and they're definitely not there for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. So we may actually see a little bit of turnover this upcoming season. Will Hunter Henry at the end of this season still be with the Chargers? Who knows? But I'll guarantee you, if he's able to stay healthy, he will garner a large, anywhere between $8 and $12 million a year for a tight end. That's if we have a season this season, and if the salary cap isn't hit from the loss of seats in the stadiums this upcoming season, because from what it's looking like, most NFL stadiums are cutting their seating down to 1/4 total capacity, which is going to help hurt the overall cap hit in 2021. So, what do you guys think? What do you think about Hunter Henry? Do you think he's a top-end tight end? I believe so. I believe he absolutely is. He's an all-around tight end. I think he's very similar to Kittle. Not quite as athletic as Kittle. But I think that he's got enough athleticism to make him dangerous in the passing game and yet still able to make the blocks. I think Hunter Henry would be an absolute beast on New England or Indianapolis. I would love to see Hunter Henry be picked up by the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think the Colts would spend $8 to $12 million on a tight end. But there's a good possibility New England might. And they needing someone because they had no one at tight end since Rob Gronkowski left. Since he retired. And then unretired to be with Tom Brady over in Tampa Bay. I hope that Henry turns out to be what I think he could be, because that's absolutely what I thought he could be when he came out in the draft those 4 years ago. He's everything I thought he was. He's just had injury issues. Now, I'm glad to know that the 2018 torn ACL did not affect him too much. He did have knee injuries, though, last season, which kept him out of a few games. Will that continue to linger with him? I doubt it. He's had all off season to get that knee healthy and move on from that. I believe now he's finally in his full NFL health. I think that he understands he's up to speed with the NFL now. He showed that last year in the 12 games that he played. And I believe that he will absolutely blow up as long as he stays healthy and Tyrod Taylor actually targets him. And he's not looking too far downfield at the wide receivers, which will most likely be the guys that are covered all the time. Hunter Henry is great at finding the open spots. And when he has an average in-air reception of about 9 yards a catch, That means every time he catches the football, it's almost a first down. I don't see a problem throwing him the football. I really don't. Because he catches it, turns, and just falls forward. It's a first down every time you throw him the football. Feed Henry. That is the Chargers' best bet for winning this season, is feeding it. Now, don't force feed him. Like that clip I showed earlier, where Rivers just had to trust in his best-handed receiver, which was Hunter Henry last season, and threw it at him with 5 guys around him. Don't do that, obviously. He showed that he could do it. But that's not something that you want to attempt on a consistent basis. Rivers put that ball in a perfect place for Henry to catch it, and no one around him other than the person behind him could catch it, as long as Henry was able to go up at its highest point and come down with the football. And Rivers was able to fully trust in Henry's ability to do that. Of course, I'm Lawrence Owen, and until next time, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.